Right. Good morning. Let's see how this goes. In theory, it's kind of weird. I'm also streaming to YouTube. I hope. I can't figure out how to check. But that's kind of sad, I'm sure. But there you go. Mhm. I am just trying to see. I have absolutely no idea how this works. Maybe because I'm logged in. All right. I'll give myself 2 more clicks. It doesn't seem to see that I'm live. So, all right. We're going to sort that out later and get to playing the game. So, this is the last caretaker. When I switch over to it, it's the music's going to get real loud. So, I'll go ahead and talk over for a minute. This is The Last Caretaker. It was released in early access on Thursday, so this is like day 3. We have gotten through out of the tutorial area and through sort of the first new playable area outside the demo, and then to a huge area called the Lazarus complex, where you sort of open up the story just a little bit and find out what you need to do next. We have cleared out most of the Lazarus complex. We've ticked all of the boxes on the quest list, but there are a few more things that I want to do before we pack up and move on to make sure that the boat that we're traveling on is going to be ready to go and has enough power. And there's a couple of enemies off in the corner that I want to take care of, or at least try to. One of them spawns murder hornets, so that will get excited. If I walk off the edge of a bridge and fall to my death, belly flop into the water because of the murder hornets, that should be exciting. All right, so let's go ahead and go. We are going to hit continue. We're continuing from backup slot 4. I'm going to hop over here, double check some of my stats. There we go. Okay, that's just a little slow. This is, like I said, early access, very, very early access. The demo is fantastic. They had that very clean and running very well, getting out the controller. The Lazarus complex is, and this is not one of those games where uh, into backup into slot 3, and then connect into slot. This is the third day into slot 4. There's a lot more going on here, so it is a bit more of a drag, although my computer seems to be handling it well. I am on 30 FPS and the lowest graphics settings. This game played without streaming on your own computer would probably be just absolutely even more gorgeous. Although, I mean, it still looks pretty damn good to me. All right. So the task of the day yesterday was to connect these 4 big pods. You can see them 1, 2, 3, 4. To power, which is the dark blue cables, and water, which is the pale blue cables. And the power comes from a couple different places. The water comes from downstairs. So I went ahead and built a water tank, which is now full. So we've got the water purifiers working downstairs, and I built a battery, which is also now full. So there'll be just a little bit of juice if something goes wrong. Right. The other thing I got yesterday is I got a rifle, which would allow me to hit something from a distance instead of walking straight up to it and literally hitting it with a crowbar, which is what we were doing there for a minute. My windows just a little bit and click back into here. All right, so what's in my inventory? I don't need all of this at the moment, so I'm gonna go put that in our boxes. You can tell computer nerds built this game. It is all about the cable management. Okay, and keep those because they come in handy. I'll keep that thing. All right, we're still very heavy. I suspect, quite frankly, that is the ammunition, but I also suspect we are going to need that. Now, over here, out this area, there are stairs. And I don't know where all the stairs go. This elevator goes down to the water reclamator, and it goes up to the cafeteria, which is another place that we can go. I don't know where these go. These go all the way up and around and through the areas. There's a few last bits of things that I need to be cleaning up. That is my crowbar. I don't want my crowbar. I want my flashlight. Down there is the water reclamator. And you can see I draped the water cable up and out here, which is perhaps not my brightest move, but what you're going to do. And you can see all of these go. There's that little area there. This looks like I'm getting a reflection off of something. I have not gotten into any of those. There's no way to get to them. Flashlight sucks batteries. So there was a way to just hotkey the flashlight on and off, and I think either I busted it or okay. This is a area where you can jump or not, depending on how brave you are. All right. I think there is another way to get here. I'm going to move this to the center so that I can see it. If I come back to it at the other end, move you. Actually, let's not put it in the center where it could run into me. Move you here. Things have a physics to them, so they tend to bounce and roll. There's stuff over there. There is that might go up by the cafeteria. I'm going to take you down here with me and add you to the pile of things we will get to later. Yeah. What is upstairs off to the side? I don't think there is enough to the side from here. See, there's a wall here, and there's no way through it. And then we get into the cafeteria. Well, what was the cafeteria? I cleared it out. The food processor over there. We are overlooking the pods. So there's a bunch of stuff over there. I think we might be able to get to that same area if we go over there. I would love to figure out how to turn the lights on in some of these spaces, in these dark spaces over here in particular. All right, this elevator, they go all the way to the top, all the way to the bottom. If you want them to stop in the middle, you have to hit the button. And you and jump. All right. So there's stuff up there. There's stuff over there, but there's an area in the bridge that's busted. All of this is pretty self-contained as long as the doors are shut. Although we've been opening doors, so who knows what's going to crawl inside. Now, get up here. There's no elevator up. Yeah, I don't think the elevator goes up there. Is it? Yeah, this is the elevator goes here and the elevator goes down to the dock. So if you want up, you get to up here and jump off. I like some things about the ladders. It makes me nervous. And I just gotta heave myself backwards up. All right. So this goes down. That when you first come into the Lazarus complex, there's a bunch of um, mazy bits and parkour bits and jumpings that you have to try and get up and around. You'll come up here, you'll find that ladder eventually, and you'll come up here and it'll say, do you want to go this way or do you want to go this way? You want to go this way. Just keep going up as much as possible when you're doing this. If you go this way, you see that little blobby thing? Yeah, that's Fitz murder hornets. Like lots of them. So we double check our bits. And then we're going to save the game because there's a save station here. There's also a no ammo was found in the backpack. What do you mean no ammo was found in the backpack? I had lots of ammo in there. I do not have any ammo in my backpack. Well, so much for that. I'm going to go back and get some ammo. All right, get onto the ladder. Point yourself carefully at the ladder. Jump, and then do not. Well, there's two ways to do it. One is you walk up close enough and it'll say enter. The other is if you jump, don't hit any other buttons after you jump. If you are pointed straight, you will stick to the ladder and you will not fall. Yeah, like that. Don't touch the joystick. Don't jump again. That's the worst thing you can do. I kept doing that all the time. And then I'd be like, wee, all the way down. until I was splat. I was splat all the way down. All right, where did I put my ammo? You have to make some more. Your memories, your stuff, your stuff, including some junk. There's my ammo. All sorts of ammo. I must have cleared out room when I was carrying some really heavy things around. You'll notice, yeah, see, I've gotten heavier. I was doing really well for a while in terms of hitting the load limit. Top off. This is a medium battery that I put here. This wire goes out across here and down to the dock where the boat is. And that's one of the ways I'm getting power into that room. If there's another way, I have not found it yet. I can't. Is that water go down? Get down there. That is different than the water reclamator. This place is a bit of a maze. Enter X. I'm on controller because I find movement is easier for me on controller. I never learned. Okay. So we are going to say, away, pick back up. Let's read everything. I didn't, I left all sorts of things in here. And I need to get back to that. All right, this is our Alamo. As my favorite YouTuber would say. Okay. So I think you're okay. It's that? All right. And this is going to piss it off. And I'm going to pick, change to, all right, you. Tase me, go back. See, the bugger respawned. Yeah, that's a bad idea. That's a bad idea. You gotta get it so it zaps and vanishes. They spit. The murder hornets spit. Rude. Right. I'm waiting for. Okay, the soundtrack has calmed down. That should mean more murder hornets. Now we should be able to go in this direction. Here, this goes up, but that's where all the nasty parkouring is. So there to remind ourselves. And, and I didn't even get it in. Ooh, red glob down there. Really? Yeah. damage. She did. Okay. If we got my move in the other direction, okay. That's fine. No damage? No, that's where I came up. Okay. There is some signage. See, this goes up to power. All of the power, most of the power is on the. Let me say it again. Being early access is not extremely optimized. There are some lags, particularly when it uh auto saves. Mm. And you can noises like your earlier enemies in the area. Hey chat, how's it going? This game is really cool. Really, really cool. I am having a lot of fun. Mm. What bit me? What bit me? What are you? What bit me? Oh, I wonder if there's something down there that spits vampire leeches. Vampire leeches hit the light. The light. The light. Hang on a second. Light busts your batteries eventually. Mm. This what is in red lollips. I wonder if they followed me. Let's see. That is possibly jumpable, but I also kind of don't want to test the theory. Give person. There, you can do what are called standing lights, which will illuminate large areas. Okay. You are a bit of a dead end. It's maybe the other side of the cafeteria. Left at Renee a bit late for that. So I suck at good names. Constantly forgetting me. All right. Thank you. All right. So, survey says, that is the other side of that gantry. All right. I don't think that's jumpable. The rearranging stuff over there. I don't think that's jumpable, and I think that if I tried, I'd fall to my doom. What is that? That's just a water. That's the problem with games that are not. You're in a state where the shadows wiggle and they freak you out. All right. So that dead ends up there. That is just a lot of places you can get to. They have what's called a repair tool, but you can't repair infrastructure like this at this point. It would be so cool if you could. I mean, I'd love to be able to get to do that, but we can't do that yet. So that answers that question. I'm playing a game where I'm sneaking around in the dark. I do not need you jumping up on the desk. We've gone over to pout. Okay. This also should probably have a railing, an actual railing game. Like seriously. If you're overestimating the effectiveness of traffic cones. All right, so that answers that question, and it takes care of murder hornets. Now, question is, how far up here do we want to go before we? So parkour was not exactly fun. These up here. There's some stuff. There's some more stuff. I'm neatening up the stuff as I can. And so I guess it would be a good way to remember that I haven't been through here. There you go. A stack of stuff with that. All right. And on the wall. And that's where you come in. And then you come up here. And there is open mosquito. There's a series of jumps. And there's a series of jumps which, if you fall into the water, you're probably not going to die, she says optimistically. Then again, yeah, I did manage. You kind of go up and around and along here and across, and then there's another bit. There's one jump onto a ladder, which scared the crap out of me. And there's one point where you need to shimmy across a lead pipe, or not like a red pipe that crosses because all of the bridges in that area are busted. It's relatively straightforward if you remember to just look up and around before you do anything. Um, it should get you up to the top without dying too often. All right. But I don't think I want to repeat the journey because I have a faster way. So, okay. And just kind of there, dismantle you, your good stuff. And then here, clear out that one. There we go. Have all sorts of techie bits in here. What is that? Moment in the corner is a bit of a weird kind of old bit of extra tech that I'm not ready to mess with at the moment. Hello, robot friend. Goodbye, robot friend. Well, you've been saved, robot friend. I'm overweight. All right. Open up answers. When I'm overweight or over capacity, it drains your battery. If it drains your battery enough, it drains your vitality. So we're going to go put our scraps into the recycler. This is a mess of cables. And that is a pop. Right. You have weapons? No. Mm, weapons. Yeah. Grenade. It's got here. Right. In there. You're in there. You're not doing so well in terms of organizing our boxes. That's okay. Right. Blue materials are very useful at this stage in the game. There's not a lot of them, so keep track of them when you find them. Yep. Yes. And I take these, and these. Okay. We've investigated as far as we want to through the walls. I think there has to have been a way down. From here, there are no ladders over there. get in there. Hmm. That is the back of the water reclamation area. It is blocked off. That's a solid wall. There's nothing else down there. So whatever's on the other side, you have to be able to get to it on this elevator here. This is not really on it. Was it? No. That we decided went up to the broken stairwell. Yes. And there's no bag that I left. There's nothing on the other side. If we go down, it's a ladder that goes down. This is all closed off. And ladder goes up. That ladder goes down into the water and off onto the sides. Do I have any interest in swimming? Not at the moment. You just look like random lions. Now, I suspect there are other beasties over there. I also suspect that there are other ladders to get up to the spaces we were in. But I think I'm going to leave it there for the moment. This is water reclamation. It's mostly cleared out and fairly self contained. That is where we were. There are no other doors or ladders into this space. So, for the most this is I'm in space. I tend to like to keep doors open if there's power, but not coming and going. But I don't know how long this little side trip's gonna be. And I don't know what happens to places when they not see. When you leave them alone for too long, like do things spawn back? What goes on? What happens? All right, so my circle palette. What's that? And we're gonna save, and then I want to take those stairs in the back, go up to the roof, I believe. I'm gonna double check that theory. These stairs come up here. Then there's an office area with a space that you can't get through. You cannot get through this door. There's no button, there's no handle, there's it doesn't connect anywhere else. There's stuff there. There's poor robot friend. The only thing I think of is you're meant to just sort of bungee down from above. And I'm not doing that anytime soon. All right. You probably be hit from here. Or are you just lights? You're just so light. All right. That's all right. You can stay there. There's another space up there that I suspect was about where we were. And you've got other areas over here. If you swim around, I bet you end up over here. But it's dark and there are beasties. And albeit nothing. Oh, some rat railings. The point of railings is that you can't get past them. Yay. Work on that. All right. I need to. Yeah, you want all sorts of things. These wind turbines are flimsy. If anything's going to give out on you, it's going to be the wind turbines. Solar panels are extremely reliable. This is the outside of the complex. You can see it is a flooded earth. Nowhere in sight. That is where we're going. That thing called the Norfolk Grave, about 4 kilometers away. This goes down to another busted walkway. And if you try to jump it, you just fall in the water, have to swim around. That alcove is, as far as I can tell, just decorative. Well, you could probably try coming down on the cord. Okay, I cannot close this door without cutting off water. There's no door to close. There's a door over here, but I can't close it without cutting off. Can you close it a little bit? And close it all the way, not at all. And I don't know that I want to drop out to the inside. This is what I was saying. I don't know how careful you have to be before shutting everything down before you leave. The demo space, I just kind of left. Got on the boat and sailed away. And that was the end of that. That's in my stuff. This elevator goes straight up to the top, no stopping. Um, is right. You can see our robot friend from over there. Oh, is that a grappling hook or a rope bridge or something? There's no way to get there. Don't fall in the holes. It's a long way down. So these ladders go all the way up as well. What I'm looking for is to see if there are any other resources on this stairwell? Any other holes that have to be accounted for? Game, do you legit want me jumping across those pipes? Is that what's going on here? Not those pipes, I don't think. I think this game uh, estimates my willingness to fling myself into the void. Right. Seriously, though, I want to grapple hook. Everybody knows that grappling hooks make games better. There's another robot friend over there. I'll bet you there is a way to get across there. There may even be a door somewhere on the inside. It's very suspicious that is the only place where there's not a railing. There's no way I'm making that jump. I also don't have a glider. Do not fall in the hole. All right. We are getting up to the top. All right. You're suspicious. Thank you. And not fall into the hole. All right. So this is where I came down to start stringing the wire. Which means if I come up here, I will be back in it being daylight. You're good. All right. So the roof is fairly straightforward. I think I had a couple more. Yeah, I had a couple more vents I wanted to sort out. And then anything up here is should be fine and dandy. Yes, you still have your door on. Yep. All right. Looks empty. Probably not. Here is slime. It, it, um, the slime will come at you if you turn on your lamp. Do not turn on your flashlight inside the vent until the soundtrack is chill and you don't see any more. You don't see any more reflections. And what we were coming up here to do to make sure we have sorted all the slime. I think the roadmap said something about decorations and stand up there. buildings and hubs and stuff like that. Well, I wonder if that'll be things like repairing the bridges, vents to go back on some of these spaces. This one I've cleared out. Yep. Yeah. Mm, that's a power room and a recycling room in there. And I think I cleared you out. Yes. I'm going to go back into these all. They got most of them. Those are called angels. Don't shoot them. They will piss them off. They will flatten you. That would be the end of you. You've not been cleared out, have you? Contract says, you chill. Right. Now, if we are planning to go somewhere else, it wants us to go over to Norfolk Grave. Wants us to go over to the Norfolk Grave, and that is going to be a space for diving, which is new. We've not been anywhere we dive before. It is going to involve getting the ship, making sure the ship has plenty of power, making sure the ship has plenty of materials. Not necessarily everything. There's stuff under there. That's the best way of getting things. There are two more spaces that I feel a little better about getting into if I want to. A solar farm and a petrol farm. And there's a bunch of stuff to dismantle there and some more to pick up. And easy through here, see what's what. I get it used pretty easily. Keep an eye on my weight. So I could do a grand tour and create the boat as I went. And there's some stuff I can get to. More stuff I cannot. Right, I can hear. Right, fine. Um, you are. Thank you. Take you away. Thank you. That's not the way we came in. Thank you. And up straight. Go take you on the way in. Yourself in the center. That is our mailbox. And you're actually going to want to take downstairs. And extra bits and food and such. You're empty. Save spot. It's getting dark out. I reached level 12. All right. You increase your level when you pick things up. That can include the dismantling things with the dismantle tool, or it can include pulling things out of the recycler, or it can just include picking things up. I have a lot of skill points that I could. This is all a bunch of petrol related stuff. I have diesel related stuff. I haven't played with it very much, but it is there. This is a flamethrower, which if I'm going underwater is probably not going to be enormously helpful. It's a small fresh water container and a water purifier, which I could put on the boat. Shock grenade would be a lot more helpful if I actually remembered that I owned grenades. This backpack is supposed to double your battery or increase your battery, as far as I can tell. But it's fidgety to turn it on and off. To connect it, you can connect it to yourself, but then you've got a wire dangling around trying to get things done. Advanced standing lights, those would be useful, but I don't. What do they want to build? Connector ports, optical lenses, battery cell. You need power for them. I have the smaller standing lights. I have one in place. That's building the food processor, a bunch of stuff having to do with food or petrol. I got some of the attachments for the rifle. I got the water tank, more food, another backpack, a consumable medium battery. That's kind of like the health topper. What do we got here? Gas cable, a grenade. What all sorts of grenades? It really thinks we like grenades. A generator, oxygen generator, and a conservation coil. These are probably useful. They attach to some of the devices so that they suck up fewer resources when you do things with them. I haven't played with them. All right, this is a 360 standing light, a better engine. I get the better engines up here. Yes. I need to make new engines for the boat. Even better engines are coming though. A bigger solar panel, more food, more optimizers, all our wind turbines. All right, stabilizer there. That's now goes on to the weapons. Ooh, off to the side. Nebula. High powered short range headlight providing a clear 360-degree illumination for navigating your immediate surroundings. Which that sucks up power. Electric rifle. So I prefer the taser because it's kind of like an area of an effect. Probably not much of an effect as a flamethrower, but you never know. So ultimately, I think what I want is a taser rifle and I'll go back to the handheld pistol, bolt pistol for close up. The advantage of the pistols and the bolt pistol and the bolt rifle is that they don't suck your battery dry. And the advantage of the tasers or the electric rifles and the electric pistol is that is that they're rechargeable, which means that once you've made the object, if you have a power source, you don't have to worry about it running out. Whereas the bullets, you never get that back. And there's a lot of materials around, but I can picture that changing as it goes. They both have their uses, but in the end, I think that I prefer the rechargeable. Although that might eventually mean sorting out these silly backups. All right, so we're going to leave that there. In the meantime, we want hydraulics to lift things, and food vitality, and then I'm going to 1 point each into these three, and 1 point into battery. Hydraulics. I always start with my battery. Okay. Going to start with my battery, keep my backpack. Like you can tell I'm not min-maxing here. Just if that's what that means, I'm just spreading things around. Um, let's see, I have 5 left. And kittens. Kittens do not chew on plates. And 4 left. All right. Vitality, backpack, battery, and that is that. All right. I think I'm done up here, except for taking things downstairs. I'm going to turn some of this off. I don't think it's a huge drain on the resources, but better safe than sorry. If your boxes are close enough to your devices, it just pulls straight out of the box, which is fantastic. Mm-hmm. Can't be difficult. Lives have physics when an object hits it, not when the robot hits it. Ah. Mm-hmm. Seriously. Mhm. And apparently did not. That didn't work. I really don't want to disconnect this. It's leaving from downstairs. All right. But we're going to have to. Cable? Yeah. Oh, no, I did not. Okay. Go by the cable and I don't fall down the hole. That's, yeah. Um, you're going to be a pain in the butt, aren't you? Not even anything. Right. Close enough, as they say, doesn't work. This is the trick for getting things around without having to gob up your inventory. But there are limits, obviously. And you just encountered a couple. All right. Thanks. I am aware. All right. Let me charge back up. Mm, I'm sure you repaired those wind turbines upstairs. Should have built a battery. I think it takes skill for battery down here. Another battery. Medium battery, yes. And all parts to Q. And then in the area. Here. Why aren't you doing anything? Mm, okay. Nope. Right. It just needed to be prompted. Nope. It should automatically shoot them over and fabricate it straight out the bat. It takes a few seconds. You point at it, it'll show you this one is 60, 70%, 80%, and so on. And stuff. Now, net, 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 net. And that is going to fill up, and that is going to talk to those for as long as I need it to. All right, now. You are my special rocks. Which way am I actually? I'm carrying 36 kilograms on rifle. That half anyways. I'm going to need copper. Let's do and rubber. 5 polyurethane. 5 gold. All the glass, all the aluminum, and all the silicone, chin fabric, and silicone. That's what I have. Aluminum. I am trying to build up a little backlog of stuff to go up, if nothing else, onto that little porch and repair those wind turbines up there. I think this is it. Okay. Left over here. You are empty. All right, you can be the one that lives on the elevator. We save frequently. And to I'm here for help. We're here. And the last thing I want to do is I want to repair the wind turbines. They don't crap out on me. All right, I should have enough. These will hopefully last. Plastic. You suck. You're just gonna have to sit there and not be prepared. I'm not coming back up. Don't make me come back up. Every so often, you get into a space where there's just one thing you need, and then it's back and forth and back and forth. All right, so speaking of back and forth and back and forth, it's time to no. numbers on these have gone just a little bit wonky. They're not making any sense. I don't. The half ones are supposed to hold two. Well, see, they say 99 of 100 kilograms or 99%, but this number says 282. Is that the number of objects inside or is that the weight? If it's the number of objects, that's 85. 92 and 22 is, and 14 plus 3 is 150-ish. And what's around 69? Maybe that's the number of objects inside. That's kind of weird. Anyways, we're gonna have to have someone explain that. Now, these are gonna have to be carried over to the other elevator and down to the boat. As we're taking as much as we can with me. Well, maybe not, but definitely taking everything. What can you finish the objects in you? Well, you might if each individual bullet is counted and that each individual pose. That's where it comes up. You, um, there were all sorts of things that I didn't look for. Okay. And go back to you. Okay. These are freshwater. I guess you could put a water purifier here and then pull fresh water up out of the drink down there and backup water purifier. You could put tanks on the back of these. That's probably what's, I have no idea. This looks like the spot to put a tank, but it's empty. There's not even like the wreckage of a tank could be there. Okay, let's think about this. What do you have that we don't want to leave behind? Okay. I want to take the series, take the weapons. We're going to leave the food. We're going to take the bio waste. I need grenades. I'll make my own. I won't make grenades because I forget she owns grenades. All right. Put as much as we can in here. That's cool. That's not safe. The color on the outside tells you how close it is to being full, I guess, by the percentage. And I think the number on the outside tells you how many objects are in it. Right. We'll test that theory by putting all of our bullets in the same box. This is a bit of a cleanup run anyways. I am not certain what happens the next location. And I could just wing it. I'm perfectly capable of winging it. Well, no, I take that back. I'm perfectly capable of trying to wing it, getting there, and then whining because I don't know what to do. Um, yeah, I should do is really do. Once these big industrial elements are in place, you can't move them. You have to dismantle them and build them again, place out if you want to. Or rearrange. Keep that in mind. When you get to the Lazarus complex, these two units are back here by this elevator. There's two on the roof, two here. If you put any anywhere else, uh, you're building them yourself. Which I've seen people do. As long as you can get power to the recycler, you can. Do a good job. Setting up a mini shop essentially. And that off to the red button. And sort of kills the power switch. So this one you can see is still feeding. It's pulling from the roof and it's pulling from that porch, what I'm calling the porch, out to the side. But that wire that goes down by the elevator goes to the boat. And I'm about to take the boat someplace, so I may even roll up the cable or some of the cables. Probably won't take them off the wall because that was a pain in the butt to get them up there. I may get these ones that are sitting off. Don't swear that. That would have been a 3 different one off the edges. Took it checking. And the soundtrack can get very quiet sometimes, although I have it turned down for streaming. So you're kind of, if the soundtrack calls attention to itself, usually it means something's about to come at you. All right. What do you have left in you? You just have the food. You have a little of everything. Let's split by taking. Split by taking. Split by taking. No, you're not upset with me. Why? You love iron is heavy. Split by be back. Split by be back. Now you're happy. So you can connect yourself to a power cord pretty much anywhere and just sort of run off the landline, so to speak. What are we doing? I'm not going to be able to put it. All of these boxes are full. Right. And put your box on the elevator, the other elevator that goes to the roof. And you'll be my super secret stash. Now, I just didn't put you into this box, All right. Connect to self. Take everything. Let's see. First of all, deposit the randoms. I'm going to deposit the polyurethane because it's super heavy. Keep the silicone and deposit the plastic. All right, split you, deposit you, split you, deposit you. Still heavy. Split you, deposit you. Still heavy. Split you, deposit you. All right, now you're happy. I wish I could take all the plastic, but I can't. I might. Plastic is the current bottleneck. You take another 50. Shut up, I'm at 85. I should leave at least some plastic behind. It is basic. And one of the downsides of this little exercise is that oh, I'm still connected. I want to I'm gonna say I want to go down that ladder and see what was down there. That is another area that I cleaned out before I went anywhere. Right. Mm-hmm. Gave me the charge. Interesting. And it's even if you're turned off, uh, there's still there's some things about these connectors which are still just a little bit weird to me. Like in theory, you think it totally fits things all, but it kind of doesn't. Maybe sort of. If it does, it just doesn't tell you. See, I'll shave myself off of that. Right, this is where you come in. When you come up, oh yeah, you can be shot. Yeah. This needs to be the outside of the water recreation area. Wait, I'm not climbing down there. Mm, If you don't piss it off, let's do that. Yes, you are. Mm. Right, we're going to check because I suspect if it's going to respawn, it'll respawn by the time I get back here. All right, this is one way to come up. If you land in the water, you are water reclamation. There is a door. Okay. You know your way back in if you need it. And I suppose you are another ladder up. Anything around here? I can hit in here. Yeah. Right. Two ladders, the stairway up. Yeah. Do I come down the stairs or do I come down a ladder? I came down this ladder and down the stairs. Yeah. That vent over there leads to the outside. And so you end up standing on that vent and you're staring down here. You have to jump into the water and make it to one of these ladders. When you do, there's no power to the facility. So this door is locked. You can see what's going on in here, but you can't do anything about it. It reminds me, is there any door on this other side? I don't think there is. And now we're entering the pods again. And there's this matching set of spaces. I think this is the bottom of the elevator shaft that goes to the roof. I'll bet you. Yeah, there we go. And I'm going to meet myself backwards. And there's the elevator. Okay. So that was worth it. And again, if you got into the water and you swam around, you'd probably find more beasties and more um, more ladders, honestly. Okay. So That answers that question. And you go down to the boat. We stand on our boxes. It's daylight, which is good because we don't like things around. Our boat is a little awkward at the moment. So let's see. Do this. I don't know. It's just a little higher than someone do. Maybe I'm supposed to. Ooh, turkey. Um, don't pick a fight with the sharks. Kind of like don't pick a fight with the angels. I think some people do it. Not worth it. There's little critters that jump up here, but then the sun comes up and they remember that they don't like the light. This is a dead end. I think I cleared it out. Oh no, I didn't. Yeah. Okay. Mm, Right. So I did a really bad. Uh, I did not park very well because I am not very good at parking. I could move a little forward, and then it would be easier to get on and off the boat, or I could just remember it the next time. Looking at it, there's a lower area in the back, which is easier to get on and off of. And I don't know, take advantage of that. I think I want to try throwing these boxes out. First of all, if I hit them high enough, they'll just chuck right out the back. Second of all, there's good stuff in them, and I can't just have them. There's some leave all the memories in the Lazarus room. Okay. Maybe want to see what it would be like to row the boat just a little. Right. Good. Battery should be fully charged. And nudge it forward just a little. Anything else? Okay. Keep it going. Still figuring out how the rudder works. Okay. Exit vehicle. Is that help? Let's see. Yep. Yep. All right, let's straighten it out. And go forward just a bit more. That wind turbine is on fire. It shouldn't be on fire. And I don't have materials. One thing at a time. We want to first change the mood. Yes. Encourage, exit vehicle, air boxes, wires, here. What I hear, mooring cables are good for straightening you out and getting you close to the dock, but the anchor needs to be down, actually keep you in place. So make sure. All right, our anchors are dropped. Now, go ahead and reconnect the power. Here. There we go. And now we should be able to get our boxes on without dropping anything. Survey saves. Yes. All right. All right. Take you out, take you out, take you out, take you out. Someplace else. To another out. And full up. Hornets? Yes. Right. Hornets. Okay. The bucket out. You had to build a diesel generator just to get rid of the poop. Right. What do you have? You have copper. Your stuff that needs to go back inside. What do you load your stuff up? Mm, before I stop using the stuff. Mm, you, you in there. Now you're full again. Ridiculous. You obviously need another box. What I'm gonna do, what I saw someone do is just put a line of the big boxes down here for common materials. And then I'll take one of the little boxes and use those to move around. All right, so add all parts to queue, build. Okay, let's start with that. All right, I have conveniently parked right where there is a very inconvenient odor. One of these, you're saying is heavy. You're saying the copper is heavy. And I think these lights are all right. I see my getting it off room a bit of a pain in the butt, but we'll make it work. We're going to parts to queue and build. Get these boxes off the deck first. This thing is annoying. Why are you disconnected? You're funny. You're funny. Why are you on fire? Let's leave my store boxes. In the forward way. This one's a little bit better. Still move backwards. Where are you going? Completely undo everything I just did. I didn't forget to drop the anchor. I very deliberately did not drop the anchor because reasons. Right back where we started. That's it. Roll down the stairs. I can't read it from my book. What is the noise of critters? They make noise. Open. Hey, God. Don't do that. I see. Air polyurethane. Yes. Right. All right. Net goes out the back, whether you're moving or not, collects up to 15 kilograms of stuff. Actually, quite useful. Mm. Yeah, some right now. My new memory box. Wings. Maybe. You are going to be food. What looks like food? What? Looks like food. You're going to be no. Okay. Wings, food, and ammo. Yep, sounds about right. Mm, do that. Do that. Do that. Do that. Might do. Actually, if this is where the turbines are, those boxes are too far away to be spotted. You're gonna have to, you're just gonna have to be there. They said it's important to bed, but they didn't say why. So, all right, so you're gonna be our big boxes. You can get in there, take everything, yeah, overweight, and then move and see. And the iron, We're going to be safe. We're going to be copper. We're going to be gold. Beautiful. Pressed gold. Down. Gold. Polyurethane. And the glass. Remember? Good. Great. Stitch. Box. Let's see. We're going to be the new poop box. Great. Back into the rhythm. We are iron. And wait again. That's one. It's awesome. Music. With a good box. Carrying too much book. Good box. Each. And then Okay. That is making right. Right. Oh, yes. Yeah. Through the rings, through the rings. No food and no brains. Just food, making, yeah, almost there. Right. Ridiculous amount of ammo. Let's see about having one of these boxes for okay. You are going to be no, later on. You know what? All right. You are copper. You are gold. Or empty. You're polyurethane. You are polyurethane. You are gold. That's enough. Pretty rough. You're lighting me. Actually, I take it out. Put in the miscellaneous junk. Mm, the unusual show the symbol for us thinking about it. Right. The copper. And not that much copper now. Well, I probably use more clean. Right. I don't need that much more. Something that uses copper. Spice green, but not plastic. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know. Right. Things have to be overflow. All right. Glass, silicone, glass, overflow, mm, mm. Okay. Rubber, Margaret, plastic. All right. I want big boxes for pretty much one of everything. And fit two more over here. Have two more over there. I think I'm gonna want cover and glass. And see, you cannot see the iron and plastic that's over there. Mm, yeah. Okay. You consider this. Right. So that is iron, that is plastic. I want one for copper. We do want one for copper because copper gets used all in this. All right. And I'll press 2. Gold is ammonia, less useful. And it has to be in this way in order to be seen. Can you do that? Yes. This is interesting. Optimer. Well, no. Right. National map. Taking out of the way. In the fair. Big old. You can do enough log. You're probably using action. Let's take the you're probably using pretty much full. Yeah. Um, yeah. We are so especially fabric in glass and glass. Do I need a glass? Mm, nice. Made it proper. Maybe that's silly. One of you is gold and one of you is polyurethane. Yes. And you're all into you are into the aluminum. Eventually, I suspect I'm going to stop recording. Right now, give me someplace to start. Maybe it's so crooked up there. All right. Lots of time. What? Funny. Okay. Probably can't get away with that again. I am in the kitchen again. Right. You there. I suspect when you're going to your own kind of special. All right, I can fit one more item here. And just a little crooked. What's enough? Okay. Whoa, wide. All right. Was enough. All right. I mean, if I were really extra, I would move this. Put something. Well, I guess you're putting something else there. I really have to try to put table splitter on it. Okay. All right. So that is all of the boxes sorted. I want a fancy electric booster. And at least two. I don't have any diesel, but I suppose I could only have this, but that doesn't count. We should do at least one more, maybe two more big ones here. Okay. Hmm. I'll fill that up. And you're so connected. You're so connected. You are smaller wind turbines. We kind of don't need more bigger ones. I should go save. All right. I am sorting out the boat before I leave Lazarus to go do the next quest that they gave. Next quest. So this is a bit of a moment where we're just kind of sorting things out. I sorted out all of my materials. I don't want to go overboard with the boxes, but I don't want things all over the place. I need them. So, mm, this will give me the opportunity to. Why am I standing on my favorite bit of to use up some of my tips? I'm not be able to fling things down here anymore with the boxes in the library. We're missing parts to here. Right. And 3 wind turbines on top that I want to replace with the better ones. And we're also going to be empty. So I should eventually put something that can just kind of pull. So that gives me 50 boxes. Mm, and take the glass, so you can move there. Copper, plastic, iron, glass. Most do I have the most on? Have the most of rubber, but honestly, fabric is going to be fabric is the one that things ask for the most. I want that convenience. All right. You're polyurethane and you're gold. You're very particular. Okay. All right, so 3 empties. I have some aluminum and silicone. It's doing pretty good. I have 3 more empties over here. In fact, so let's just go ahead and make a blue. And blue will just be where the rare materials go as we find it. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. Now, I want 3 more wind turbines up. And I do. Those are the old ones. 5 kilowatt hours a piece. These are higher efficiency and greater resilience. That's what we're looking for. All right. Backwards to Q. All parts to Q. Save outrageous components. Titanium. Pure. Maybe carbon fiber. All right. My bullets are weighing me down. All of it. My hoses are weighing me down. Split deposit. All right, so go up and get us a wind turbine. Disconnect. Right. Dismantle. And it just fixed you, but that's okay. Build. Wind turbine. Here. And then if you up, you're going to yeah, overtake. You want iron. Right? Fair enough. Yes. Let's see. Eat pretty juice is going to waste. Right. That's that. And now it should be kissing. I hope they're not too close together. 1 kilowatt hour. 6, 0. That's interesting. Okay. Return vibes. I want to add one here. Makes you out a little better. One here. And say add missing parts to queue and see what happens. Add missing parts to queue. Okay. Ready? Is that all I was missing? Right, that's one. Another one. The math on the fabricator is a little confusing. The difference between missing parts to queue and all parts to queue. Sometimes it's paused and sometimes it's not. And sometimes it's extra and sometimes it isn't. It's a little confusing. Right. Back. Sure pickups that I'm carrying them. There you go. Building itself. I still have extra pieces in here and I'm not finished my. Oh well. And you can connect over here now. Yep. All right. We have 3 solar panels and we have, oh yeah, 4 solar panels. 3 wind turbines, some of which appear to be more. What is on the wrong side of the ship? What? That's what it thinks it's doing. All right. All right. All 4 are going. For feeding, I suspect the reason they're not doing much is that the boat is full. Yeah, 6 out of 6. Okay. And that is going to get us a lot of power if we need it. It's also full because it's coming in from there. Unfortunately, I do not get seasick immediately, but I could see that becoming an issue for some. All right. Now, do not have any diesel. And you have 6 out of 6 for this. So I think what I'm going to do is unplug you. It should be anchored. You don't have to get anything else out of the Lazarus complex at the moment. Lift tankers, yes. All right. So, where does it want us to go? It wants us to go to Norfolk Grave, which is nice because that means it is right in front of us and we don't have to do a 3-point turn. And we could investigate some of these items along the way. So this over here that says Sanctuary Dock 37, that is where we began at the very beginning of the game. Then they had us go to Navigation Beacon 49, which gave us all of these icons. There is another little shadow element here that is not on the map. It's about here-ish. It's like a stack of crates. And you don't know what it is. There's pink slime living in it, according to the YouTubers who've been there. And then they had us come from Beacon 49. That told us where the Lazarus complex was. That also gave us these 2 items. The Lazarus complex, once we had that powered on and repaired, told us where Norfolk Grave and all of these other things inside the circle are. I kind of want to, if it's this sort of building with the triangle turned off, that means it's underwater. And so Norfolk Grave is underwater. And it's the first time it's asked us to go someplace. So I suspect there's some instructions that we might want to. I'm going to head for, instead of going backwards, but I do want to get out some of these spaces. I'm going to head for this solar farm, maybe this sanctuary dock, and then the Norfolk Grave. Or I'm going to head for the solar farm, hit up the Norfolk Grave, and then if it doesn't tell us to go somewhere in particular, because it may send us to this beacon as well. I suspect the more beacons you unlock, the more icons you get, the more resources you have access to. That's what's going on here. So that is the plan. I'm going to skip this. We could go to this. We don't know what this is. We recognize that it's probably a resource depot of some kind. This is definitely another one of the docks like we started at because it's got the same icon. And that one at the very top is another beacon. So let's go to, and I've seen people do solar panel installations before. Let's do one of those on the way there. or we can just beeline straight forward and stick with the whatchamacallit, the golden paths. Either way, it is out in front of us. That's good. I need to turn around. I don't know. I think the blobby sank. Oh, I think those blobbies is where the leeches come from, and they wash up and they hit the dock, and then they get on your ship and they eat your wind turbines. I'm here, blobbies. I like my wind turbines in one piece, thank you. I'm here, blobbies. I can hear you. Sun's coming up. There you go. Do not fall in the water while you're doing this. You can get them for experience and you can get them for bioorganic manner. Do not fall in the water while you're doing this. Oop, that one bit me. All right. What I'd like to do is try to hit one of those, not the pokey ones that have the thing sticking out. Those are mines. I'm going to try and hit one of the fleshy red blobs. Oop, rude. Fortunately, I seem to be tough enough at the moment. All right, when I'm going out, there's going to be a couple mines. That's going to be fun. Okay. But it is, let's try. So I am going to save here. Yes, I know the soundtrack is very fast. I'm going to do a manual save. This is the third day. So I'm going to save to backup slot 3, on backup slot 4. Then I'm going to go ahead and call it. And I'll be back in about an hour, maybe an hour and a half to continue. And we're going to at least travel as far as the solar farm and um, and see what that looks like. And then we'll see what Norfolk Grave looks like. Maybe later in the afternoon. So in the meantime, I'm going to say thanks for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye bye.